I have spoken before about my interest in cosmology, which is not cosmetology. The two really couldn't be more different, and it's a little wacky that their names are so similar. But I'm talking about cosmology, anything to do with the universe, despite my nearly complete lack of knowledge in the field. Any way you slice it, the universe is a big subject, bordering on the infinite, and I know almost nothing about any part of it. As it turns out, many of the most learned cosmologists are also quite literally in the dark. What they know, or think they know, is a kind of dark knowledge, a combination of astronomy, physics, and voodoo. In order to balance their theories and equations, these cosmologists have come up with two specific kinds of dark knowledge: dark energy and dark matter. They believe that 70% of the universe is composed of dark energy, while 26% of it is dark matter. They can't exactly prove this because they can't see dark energy or dark matter. We can only predict and theorize that it is there, which is obviously a mind-boggling leap bordering on the occult. As theories go, so I'm told, this one is a doozy. Those who believe in it find it very exciting and wonderful, a tool for further discovery and for explaining our existence and the structure of the universe. If you were doing the math back there, you know that after we have accounted for dark energy and dark matter, 4% of the universe is left. That 4% is the physical world that we know. I say we know it, I should say that we are aware of it, we can perceive it, but when it comes to knowing it, understanding it, we know a little, but there's still a whole lot we don't know. So, if you're a cosmologist and you're buying into this, this is the deal. You know a little about 4% of your world, and the other 96%, well, that's a theoretical, mathematical wonderland. You don't want to admit it, but at this point, it's a pure conjecture. That's what makes it so exciting. It seems like a daunting, dreadful balance to me. A measly 4%, which is everything we perceive, what we call the universe, the stars and planets, galaxies, comets, asteroids, and supernovas. I'm not so sure about black holes. I think when you start getting into black holes, you're into the dark territory. That's the 96% of everything, which is really only a postulate as far as we are concerned, a theory, an educated guess. That's what I mean by daunting. I know that in baseball your odds of getting a hit are not that great, but it's a whole lot better than being a cosmologist, where you know a little about 4% of everything and really nothing about the rest, where the rest is 96%. And it gets worse or better, even more promising, depending on how you look at it. String theory pushes beyond quantum mechanics, which was a mystery to me, into a subatomic way of looking at the matter-energy continuum and supplying a possible structure for it that explains it and also, expanding it, the universe. And in string theory there are, so I've heard, at least 11 dimensions. We are familiar with our good old 3 dimensions, length, width, and depth, and a fourth, time. But in string theory, other dimensions start popping up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm starting to get lost. No, strike that. I'm completely lost. They lost me at 5, but the cosmologists love this. They absolutely thrive on their 11 dimensions, even if, especially if, they can't exactly tell us schleps what these other dimensions are. These people are out there. String theory, string, sealing wax, paper clips, and Elmer's glue. As far as I know, the hotshot cosmologists are still going with the Big Bang theory as the advent of everything, both the 4% we perceive and the 96% we don't, the 4 dimensions we know and the other 7 they have predicted. It's what they call a model, and it's a beauty, and when they use the model, you can almost hear it hum. Using the model, they can tell you what was happening in the first trillionth of a second, and when the first hydrogen atom was created, and so on. It's very heady stuff, and this is pure science, mind you, not some fairy tale or legend. But the Big Bang is a total mystery to me. There was nothing, absolutely nothing, and then suddenly boom. Why boom? Whence cometh the boom? If there was nothing and the nothing was really nothing, then what caused the boom? The boom explains everything that follows it, at least 4% of it. It's a fascinating, highly productive model, a splendid, admirable model, but where did the boom come from? And why? Was it some fat kid with a firecracker, a terrorist, or God? Why did it happen? Why didn't nothing continue? If you have nothing, and it is truly nothing, then I think, logically, all you can expect is nothing. If it wasn't nothing, what kind of something was there? How do we account for the boom, what used to be called the prime mover? What caused the Big Bang? Not to answer that question, or to avoid it, and to start from the Big Bang and wind up with 11 dimensions, that just leaves me in the dark.